Deep within the cosmic architecture of our universe, there are secrets that challenge everything we know about planetary physics, gravitational dynamics, and the true history of our celestial neighborhood. At the absolute edge of our solar system, where the sun's light is reduced to nothing more than a faint, distant star blinking in the frozen dark, lies a world defined by absolute silence, crushing atmospheric pressure, and a violent history of pure cosmic destruction. Welcome to Awan Industries. Today, we journey to the most mysterious, isolated, and terrifying world in our planetary system, planet Neptune. A massive, frozen ice giant that was not always where we see it today. This is the untold story of its violent creation, the catastrophic events it encountered along the way, and the immense cosmic chaos that ultimately exiled this frozen world into the permanent darkness of deep space. Before we dive into the deep, unforgiving abyss of this blue world, we want to build this channel with your direct vision. Since Awan Industries engineers high-end, deep dive research documentaries on both space exploration and advanced technology, or AI, we want to know your strategic thoughts. Let us know in the comments below which specific niche you want us to focus on more. Which videos do you enjoy the most, so we can tailor our upcoming research and visual designs directly to your unique vision. Our cosmic journey begins approximately 4.5 billion years ago. During this primordial epoch, our solar system was completely unrecognizable. It was nothing more than a massive, chaotic, spinning cloud of interstellar dust, superheated gas, and raw radioactive material known to modern science as the solar nebula. As gravity began to condense this material over millions of years, the central mass collapsed to form our host star, the Sun, while the remaining debris flattened into a fast-spinning protoplanetary disk. It was within this violent, hyperdense disk that the first planetary cores began to take shape through the process of accretion. However, according to modern astrophysical research and the highly advanced computational models known as the NICE model simulations, Neptune did not originate in the freezing outer solar system where it resides today. It was actually born much closer to the Sun, right in the dense, crowded, and highly volatile neighborhood of Jupiter, Saturn, and Uranus. In its earliest developmental phase, Neptune was not an ice giant at all. It began its existence as a massive, dense, rocky core composed of heavy metals, silicates, and dense iron. Because it was positioned much closer to the warm inner solar system during its infancy, it had access to a massive reservoir of surrounding planetary gas and freezing volatile materials that had not yet been blown away by solar winds. Day after day, millennium after millennium, Neptune's immense gravitational pull acted like a cosmic vacuum, rapidly reeling in immense quantities of hydrogen, helium, water vapor, and methane gas. It was growing in mass at an unprecedented rate, developing a thick, volatile atmosphere that cloaked its rocky core. But this stable, aggressive growth phase was about to be completely shattered by a cosmic, planetary alignment of unimaginable scale. A catastrophic gravitational event occurred that permanently altered the orbital architecture and stability of our entire solar system. Jupiter and Saturn, the two absolute planetary giants of our system, slowly migrated over millions of years into a violent structural relationship known as a 2-to-1 orbital resonance. This meant that for every one orbit Saturn completed around the Sun, Jupiter completed exactly 2. This precise orbital synchronization amplified their gravitational fields exponentially, sending massive, highly destructive gravitational shockwaves through the entire planetary plane like a celestial tsunami. The fragile cosmic balance of the young solar system was instantly broken. Inner asteroids were violently hurled into the Sun. Planetary orbits became highly eccentric, and the primary victim of this massive gravitational instability was Neptune. The planetary giant was completely helpless against these forces. The unstoppable, crushing gravitational pulses of Jupiter and Saturn violently ripped Neptune out of its original, stable orbit, throwing it outward into the freezing, dark unknown of deep space. This outward migration was not a smooth, linear, or peaceful journey. It was a terrifying, violent trek across an unstable, collapsing cosmos. As Neptune was physically hurled toward the outer edges of the solar system, acting as a giant gravitational bowling ball, it smashed directly into the primordial Kuiper Belt. This zone was a dense, heavily crowded ring of ancient ice, rocky planetesimals, and thousands of dwarf planets left over from the raw formation of the solar system. During this brutal, unending migration, Neptune suffered thousands of catastrophic, high-velocity collisions. Any icy celestial body, comet, or rocky planet-simul that crossed its path was either instantly obliterated by Neptune's massive kinetic energy or swallowed whole by its growing gravitational maw. This brutal, violent phase reshaped Neptune's internal chemistry, core temperature, and physical structure forever. The friction of these massive, continuous collisions, combined with its extreme displacement away from the life-giving warmth of the sun, caused its ambient temperatures to plummet dramatically. The planetary temperature dropped down to a crushing -220 degrees Celsius, turning it into the ultimate frozen wasteland. It became a permanent celestial abyss where molecular motion almost grinds to a complete halt, and where gases compress into deep, exotic liquid oceans under the weight of immense planetary gravity. Yet, the most shocking cosmic heist in planetary history was still to come. As Neptune was finally settling into its new, distant, and isolated orbit at the edge of the dark void, it encountered a massive, independent rogue world originating from the deep, dark corners of the outer Kuiper Belt. This was Triton, a massive, fully formed, icy dwarf planet moving on its own independent orbital trajectory around the Sun. As Triton attempted to pass by the newly arrived ice giant, Neptune's ruthless, inescapable gravity captured it in a brutal cosmic trap. Neptune's gravity was so incredibly powerful that it completely arrested Triton's massive forward momentum, tearing it away from its original path. But instead of forcing Triton to orbit normally like every other moon in the solar system, Neptune's gravity locked it into what astronomers call a retrograde orbit. This means Triton revolves completely backward, fighting directly against the actual direction of Neptune's own planetary rotation. The stress of this violent gravitational capture was so intense that it completely destabilized, shattered, and wiped out all of Neptune's original native moons that had formed with the planet, grinding them into trillions of pieces of space dust. Triton's backward orbit stands today as living historical proof that Neptune's outer domain was built entirely on cosmic piracy, gravitational warfare, and extreme structural violence. Today, when we observe Neptune through our advanced space telescopes and satellite technology, it appears as a breathtaking, serene, deep blue jewel quietly hanging in the freezing void of space. But beneath this beautiful, calm blue atmosphere lies a chaotic, churning soup of super-pressurized water, ammonia, and methane gas that hides its violent, scarred history. Its creation story proves that our solar system was once a place of pure, unadulterated, and terrifying chaos. Neptune remains an exiled giant isolated from its planetary family, completely stripped of the sun's warmth, and forced to wander the dark void alone, carrying the permanent, invisible scars of a violent cosmic war. If you found this deep dive investigation into Neptune's violent creation fascinating, we have an incredible journey waiting for you in the next phase. If you want to see the next chapter, simply comment part 2 right now in the comments section. and we will build the next documentary for you. In part 2 of this exclusive series, we will descend directly into the terrifying atmospheric secrets of this exiled giant. We will explore the deep internal mechanics of Neptune's extreme world, where it literally rains millions of carats of solid diamonds directly into its liquid core, and where supersonic winds reaching speeds of over 2,000 kilometers per hour tear through the frozen atmosphere, creating massive, violent dark spot storms that could swallow planet Earth whole. Let us know your strategic thoughts in the comments section below. Subscribe to Awan Industries to guide our research forward, and stay tuned for the next deep dive documentary. Keep building, keep commanding, and stay sovereign.